Hey, how's it going? This video is to discuss the differences between atheism and agnosticism. I find it a little strange that neither one of the terms have been described that well, even though obviously atheism is at the center of the atheist-theist debate that is going on YouTube. That we should at least define the terms well. So here we go. An agnostic is a vague term. It's even vaguer than atheism, which also covers a decent amount of people. But an agnostic is anyone that doesn't ascribe to a particular religion, and anyone that believes that there might possibly be a God or anything divine, supernatural like that. And the problem is that a lot of people try to paint atheists into a corner by claiming that they're agnostic and they have to acknowledge the possibility of God, while at the same time claiming that being an atheist means you believe that you can prove there's no God or affirm the fact that there's no God. Well, that's not really true. Me myself, and I would say this goes for a lot of atheists, we don't want to be part of the agnostic group. We don't want to be affiliated with a group that so many of the members believe there might be a God and we don't know the true God, or there's a potential creator or potential divine forces at work. We reject all those things, so we don't want to be part of that group. And I mean, the word atheist is pretty simply constructed. It means it's a theist. It means not a theist. So that's what binds us together, is that we reject all the organized religions. And no, we don't claim that we can prove that there's no God. We know we can prove that there's no God of Christianity, no Allah. There's no Agramenu, if you're familiar with the Zoroastrian religion, and so on and so forth. We can prove those things false. We can't prove that there's no God, but there's no evidence for one, so we choose not to believe him, or we'll leave it open that, there could have been some sort of spark at the beginning, or we know not what. And if people want to call that God, that's whatever, but that's far from how God is portrayed in any theistic religion, any organized religion right now. Their concepts of God are wrong, and we know that, which is why to be affiliated with an agnostic just means that you're leaving open the possibility that there is a true religion, and that's not a possibility we want to leave. So basically the difference between atheists and agnostics is that as an atheist we will admit that we can't prove that there's no God, just like we can't prove that there's not an invisible man standing over my shoulder. Like, you can't prove that either. You can't disprove it. And that's how we feel about God. We still think it's a nonsensical concept, whereas an agnostic doesn't necessarily have to feel, but leaves open the possibility that there is a God, a creator, and that's not even a possibility that we want to delve into. It shouldn't the default position shouldn't be that there's a God. The default position should be that there's no God, because that's where all the evidence would point you. So for all the theists that criticize atheists and say we're not really atheists, we're agnostics, well, you don't understand the position we're trying to take. We're not taking the most concrete position that we prove that there's no God, but we don't want to be pushed into the same category as other people that certainly would be considered agnostic, like people that believe that there's a God that we don't know but definitely created the world. Like, we don't want to be put into that kind of category at all, because we don't hold supernatural beliefs at all. So that's why such a distinction is made. And there's different kinds of atheists. There's people that are stronger in their atheistic beliefs, that believe they can prove that certain things can't follow philosophically and logically. They think they can prove that. But just by virtue of being an atheist, we're not saying that we can prove there's no God. We don't want to leave the possibility open that there is any organized religion that's right, which is why we distance ourselves from the agnostics.